What is going on, and welcome back to Rebel Rescue with me, FoggyPlays, on FM22. Today we're looking at the end of season review for quite a successful season, if I do say so myself. And we're going to be looking at the transfers that we do up to the point where the first game of the season kicks off, which is around the time that the transfer window closes. So it all works out pretty nicely. We don't have a huge amount of money to spend. Currently nothing, and we're overspending on our wages, but we are expecting wages to become available in the not too distant future, potentially after we get the season review done. So if you do go to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Right, first, so like I said in the intro, in the season review, where we had a successful season, it has to be said. We won the First Division and we won the Munster Senior Cup, which they've already started the next lot of games for. The first round was played last week in game, so it's looking pretty decent, I would say. We didn't make too many signings ourselves, personally. We didn't make too many signings, but there is a number of signings that were made before we arrived that were quite successful. Jonas Hakkinen, for example, he had a fantastic time, but I don't really have anything to say about him because it was one that was done already. Rory Keating was quite good. Gilchrist really came good. Coffey and Cervelli on loan were exceptional. And then Nordstrand got signing of the season, mainly due to the player or getting the player to agree to a lower wage than we would have expected to pay for someone of his ability, which is delightful. I don't think we actually signed. I think he was the only player we signed that actually makes a difference. But as you can see, board expectation was not to win the league; it was to reach the playoffs. But that's what we went and won the league. Rory Keaton was the top goal scorer. He had an average attendance 35%. Not ideal. The board wanted us to reach the quarterfinals of the Irish Senior Challenge Cup. We only got to the second round, but we played Dundalk. So that's, difficult. In the League Cup, they wanted us, or they didn't give a shit. We got to the quarterfinals. And then Munster Senior Cup, final position was quarterfinal. No, we won it. Oh, it's because it's gone back. It's because they're already looking at the second round now. So that makes a little bit of sense, which is why it's all this stuff. Okay. So the biggest win was 6-0 against Letterkenny, which you didn't see because I really didn't see the point in playing it. Match to remember was 5-1 against our local rivals, Cove Ramblers, in the El Classic Cork. And the goal of the season was against Galway for Dylan McGlade. So reputation has not changed, no new sponsorship deals. Everything is at its highest because it's the first time we've done, or this is the first end of season review we've had. Merchandise sales 12,280,000 in merchandise sales. It's not too bad. 454 shirts sold. Keating, McGlade, Murphy, Duna, and Bulger as our highest shirt sellers. So the best five, yeah, that's pretty much how I see it. Harrington, Walker, Hackett, Gilchrist, and O'Connor, Cervelli and Bolger, Duna, Coffey, McGlade, and Keating. Keating, like as I said, Dylan McGlade and Keating, exceptional. Kevin O'Connor had 16 assists as well, so our left side was exceptionally good. So club awards, I won the Manager of the Month for March, May, and July because I'm the best manager in the world. Fans Player of the Season went to Kevin O'Connor, as I suspected. Young Player of the Season went to Hakkinen. Signing of the Season went to Nordstrand. Goal of the Season went to McGlade, as we saw. Top goal scorer, Rory Keating, 25. Most assists, O'Connor with 16. Most Player of the Matches went to Kevin O'Connor with 10. Like I said, he was absolutely unstoppably amazing. I think, from what I can remember, he probably played a handful of bad games. Highest average rating was Kevin O'Connor with 7.9. And passes completed per 90 minutes, Aaron Bulger with 59. Interesting, I think Hakkinen had the highest pass completion. But record breakers, Keating with the most goals by a player in a season, and league goals in a season. Coffey had the most goals by a player in a match. Coffey scored a hat-trick. Most assists by a player in a season, Kevin O'Connor. Most clean sheets was 9 for Harrington. Most man of the match awards went to Kevin O'Connor with 10. Worst discipline was Hackenden, 14 yellows and 1 red card. Youngest player was Ryan Coleman, 15 years, 339 days. Oldest player, Mark McNulty, 40 years, 325 days. No competition awards were won, but that's fine. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season award ceremony. Superb season for the Rebel Army as they claimed the title to back up their pre-season credentials, which I think we were expected to finish second, if I'm not mistaken. But comfortably won the league, which is delightful. Initial board, we're actually getting 24,500 in wages. No transfer budget, but that's gonna help. We have a lot of money, a lot of spare wage budget to spend now. Delightful. We don't have a scouting budget at the minute, which is fantastic. So next season they want us to play defensively solid, counter-attacking football. I don't think I will. They want us to work within the wage budget, avoid relegation, and work towards being an established Premier Division side. I'll just take that. That's fine. Squad dynamic update. Everything is excellent, has to be said. It's a decent looking team there, has to be said. Who missed the most football? It was Cian Murphy. To be fair, he did have a hip injury, so that's understandable. We had a number of players with 3 injuries, which is not fantastic. The lads are going to be back on the 17th of January. What a cheeky little holiday. That's nice. Nice for some. Right, so what are we going to tell the lads we're going to do for next year? Mid-table finish, early editions. Brilliant, getting us promoted. We're going to push to finish in the top half. Taking our attempts to implement our style. We haven't done a good enough job of playing in the style we're supposed to. So when we return, I'm placing an emphasis on getting. Okay, so the board wants us to avoid relegation, but here they're saying mid-table. Okay. They're going to give us a chance, but we still need fresh faces. Okay. I plan to strengthen the squad. Duna and Gilchrist are offended. That's exactly the sort of reaction I was after. Some promises. Younger players, they love it. Okay. Ronan Hurley and Bernberger, not overly impressed with that. I would have thought Crowley would have been happy, but he's not. That'll do for promises. Fantastic. Enjoy your break, lads. I shall see ye in January. As I said, we do have this gentleman arriving. He's probably going to be our backup striker. Gonna potentially move some of these players on. Potentially. Such as I might send George Heaven away. Duna potentially. Might loan Dara Crowley out and see if he can do something, because 3 goals from a striker. Even though I did play him a decent amount, he's not really done an awful lot, and we're going to a tougher division, so I don't think he's going to be able to do the business for us. Ronan Hurley, he's a good backup. Probably if someone comes in and offers us money, he can jump ship. Same with Bernberger. Didn't get a huge amount of opportunities. 19 substitute appearances. Corey Chambers hopefully will be on his way. And I might look to get rid of Alec Byrne as well. Under 19 wise, we do have a decent amount of players, so I might potentially look to get rid of some of those. We do have a couple of players that we're releasing in the not too distant future, when their contracts end, such as Adam Cantwell. Wouldn't agree a new contract that, wasn't a massive increase when we didn't have the money, so he's going to be on his way, unfortunately, in December. So we have a bit of time from now until the end of the transfer window, but I'll give you an update on what's going on when that happens. So don't go anywhere. I have quite a length of time in front of me to do lots of transfers with nothing. But we do have wage budget, which is acceptable. We have 17,000 in wages. I don't expect to be spending all of it, so we'll just have to see what we get when we get there. So don't go anywhere. Back in just a second. Right, fellas. So after many months, it has come to the start of the season. We're taking on Derry, who've already played. I'm not sure why two teams have already played. We've had a fairly decent time off. Our biggest win was against Everton Ireland, who are an affiliate club now. So that's fantastic. We did lose to Galway, but I played quite a bit of a rotated side. But we have made just a few signings. We did have one of our... We had an election for our chairperson. Kept the same one, so that's fine. This Georgian striker still hasn't joined yet. I'm assuming we're waiting until he turns 18 before he can join us. It'll be this time, yes, this time next month. So, but we've made a little bit of cash in sales. We've had a couple of players come in. Marion Prinz is our more than likely first choice goalkeeper, who used to play for Bayer Leverkusen. Hopefully he does well. He does seem to be, he's like a potential leading goalkeeper. So there's a chance. Corcoran and Horgan have dropped now to battling out for second goalkeeper. Kyle Hawkins, who used to play for Solihull Moors before he joined us. His determination has plummeted. Not sure why. Came through the West Brom Academy. When he came in, we had him on trial for a little while. Came in as, I think it was the second best centre back. Down now to fourth. That's, it's fine. It's whatever. He'll be a handy player to have regardless. And Alexander Glossen is a Norwegian who used to play for Bodo Glimt. He has come in and he's going to be a central midfielder option. We're a little bit low on central midfielders, so that was nice. And then just recently, we brought in Nathan Woodthorpe on loan from, I think it's from Crewe. He's running out of contract. He's going to be probably a backup option. He has better potential than Kevin O'Connor. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that though. Because we don't have any, Ronan Hurley was leaving and I hadn't really thought about who was going to be the backup. And we actually don't have any good left backs that came through the youth intake. So just went out and found a cheap centre back or left back who we are paying nothing to. But his contract does, his contract doesn't expire. Thought that his contract was expiring. Anyway, who cares? We have him on loan until Crew probably recall him, because I think he is a regular. I think he was a regular starter, is what we agreed with them, but that's not going to happen. I don't think. I'll say regular starter. That's not going to happen. But players that have left us: Cian Bargary. Nobody wanted to buy him. I transfer listed him. He absolutely hates me. So I was like, just going to get rid of him. Tried offering him out. Nobody wanted to buy him. So Cove came in and went, here, we'll take him on loan. I was like, grand. I think they're paying his whole wages. That's fine by me. Corey Chambers wanted to leave. I think another player who doesn't like me. He's gone to the league champions. Bohemians. I think he's, adversary. Absolutely hates me because he never played a game last year. Cian Coleman's gone to Shamrock Rovers, which is a bit of a step up for him. £70,000, which is pretty nice. He did have like a higher value, but Shamrock Rovers came in and were like 70,000 or 50,000, no, 60,000, no, and then 70,000, and he was like, let me go. So Cian Coleman's gone. Ronan Hurley is going to play for Wexford. He wanted ridiculous wages, and his contract is expiring at the end of the year. Next year, only have him until June. Did not realise that. Or backup left back from last year. We'll have to see. He might, if he does well at Wexford, we'll reconsider. And Oren Crow. Also, I think he has no relationship with me, but he wasn't best pleased about me either. So essentially, what happened is these five, these five players weren't my biggest fans. They wanted to leave. Also, if you look at release players, Alec Byrne, um, I get this is interesting. Like he hated me. He came to me and said he wanted to leave, and then nobody wanted him. But no, he doesn't care. He doesn't hate me. Just never wants to live Cork City, but doesn't like me. Which is interesting. Adam Cantwell has left the club after his contract expired. He has no clubs in for him, and I'm pretty sure I gave Devaney a new contract. Turns out I didn't, because he just up and left. To be fair, he wasn't playing much for the under-19s, so what are you gonna do? We did loan some players out as well. Gregory Olivier, our French striker, has gone to Everton on loan. I'm hoping that that's going to help his attributes. It looks like it's not done anything so far. Oh, we did also sign Lucas Bernberger. We had him on trial for a while. Looked pretty decent. Didn't want a massive amount of money, although I think he is one of our highest paid players. The four new players, or five players that I brought in since I've joined, are all earning the most amount of money. And this guy, I think he's getting 400 a week. So that'll push him up to Keane Murphy levels. But he does have quite a bit of potential. As you can see, there's quite a bit of potential in the team. Mark McNulty will never leave the club. He'll stay for as long as I can keep a hold of him, even though he's 1 star, or star and a half. So not that bad. At some point this year, I do want to give him a game, so he can have 355 games before he inevitably retires, I'm guessing. But he is not looking for a huge amount of money. Finance-wise, balance is a little bit shite. I've taken money out of the transfer budget because we actually had money in the transfer budget. A bit more than £27. It was 27,000, I think, but I put money into the scouting budget because our scouts are lunatics. I have them just giving me scouting feedback, but I don't think my assignments are mental. I've Joe Taylor off doing Ireland. Badra is doing nothing, and Vicente is just checking on the next opponent. For some reason, that is costing us exceptional money. Like, we haven't even started the season yet, and we've already gone through all the money we had for our scouting budget, which is just ridiculous. But all of that being said, we are going to take on Derry and St. Pat's, so we can get revenge on St. Pat's after last time we played them. We're playing UCC in the Munster Senior Cup, which again could have been much more difficult for us. Could play Waterford, but we're not going to have to worry about that because we are going to win that again this year, because that is what we do now. So yeah, Derry and St. Pat's in the next episode. Waterford will be an interesting game because that's a rivalry. So like with the cups, I probably won't show you too many of them. Depending on who we get in the League Cup, we might do Waterford and them in the episode after, but it'll more than likely be Dundalk and Waterford, because that'll be the interesting thing to look at. And because I've shown you that, now I don't have to worry about the spoilers here. They're expecting us to finish 7th, which I don't know. I feel like we're probably better than 7th. The board still just wanted to avoid relegation. The players are expecting like mid-table. And as you can see, club atmosphere has dropped a little bit. That was because of all the players that threw up a stink. But we have split down the middle. Sport and No Real Opinion. Nobody hates us, which is delightful. You will notice though that Duna isn't on that list. He's unhappy. He came to me and said he wanted to leave. I offered him out, and then he came up. He said he was unhappy that he'd been touted to other clubs. So make up your mind, lad. What is it? I might potentially just take him off because he's on the transfer list. I might have a chat with him, see if I can sort him out, get him back in the first team, and have him just as a backup option to play on the right wing if and when we need him to. Because as it is right now, we only have, I think there's 3 debuts. Yeah, there'll be 3 debuts in the first game of the season, and we have 2 players on the bench that will have to make their debut, but we do have a handy amount of players that are just sitting in reserve. So everything's looking pretty decent at the moment, but the first game of the season will be in tomorrow's episode. So if you did enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.